Okay, guys. So the live stream of the direct did not work. I'm going to go ahead and just treat this like I'm recording a video until some people show up. And then if you guys want to chat about stuff, you can. But this is basically going to be my talking about this specific direct and all the things that we got, which I know I'm not jumping into this like as excited as I was. I've kind of talked my excitement out with all my friends and my brother, and so it was crazy. It was nuts, the stuff that we got. Not gonna say it was one of the best ones because it wasn't, but some stuff was kind of just way out of left field and not what I was expecting. And there was some stuff that I kind of expected, and a thing that I missed apparently the first time. I'm not sure how that happened at all, but um, so let's kind of start from the beginning. Okay, so from the start, they made the first part of it the Mario 40th anniversary uh, direct showcase, whatever you want to call it. They went over all the stuff that they were going to do for that, which ultimately wasn't like a ton, but it could have still probably filled maybe a 15-minute direct or something like that. Um, so it started with stuff on the museum and if you don't go and like do all the stuff, you don't go to the amusement parks, the museums, the special events like the Kyoto Marathon, stuff like that. The whole first part of this was not really for you, and so that's kind of how I felt. Um, and then they talked about the Mario movie, which is now officially the Mario Galaxy movie. So that's how we're treating the 40th anniversary. Is we're just going to this thing into space and go up into the stars. It almost makes starry fitting because space. But hold on, I'm starting to freak out some. Um, so I got that, and then they announced the first of the games for the 40th anniversary, which a little torn on this first one. It was a Galaxy 1 and 2 collection for Switch 1. It wasn't even a Switch 2 game. Um, but it's supposed to have a physical retail release and it's got a digital release. And I guess the games are selling separately digitally, $40 a piece or something. This is all just, like speculation stuff that I'm seeing. I haven't like seen a listing for it yet. And then the physical would just be like the two together. And it's great to have Galaxy 2 finally on Nintendo Switch 1. But Galaxy 1 we had in the 3D All Stars collection. So I'm going to end up owning this thing twice. Uh, Thanks, Nintendo. I really needed two copies of Galaxy 1, which means I'll probably just never play it on the 3D All Stars collection again because we'll just pop in the 1 and 2 and play it that way. Um, but it's fine because Galaxy 2, like it was exciting for Galaxy 2, which just to bring this up, I'll pull up my little things from the video I posted yesterday. You guys can go and reference that back. I had two prediction lists specifically in that video. I don't remember what I predicted for Nintendo first party titles. That was before we even knew that the direct was happening. But um, I predicted about 10 Nintendo Switch 2 editions, and then I kind of had a birthday list of like the things that I wanted most for my birthday to show up on this direct. And in doing this, I actually got a couple things right. Woo! I know I couldn't be wrong about everything, and I definitely didn't want to be wrong on my birthday. So we got Galaxy 2. Whether it was together with the first one or not doesn't matter. I said I wanted Galaxy 2. It's here. That was number 5 on my birthday list. That's what that was. And then we got a Nintendo Switch 2 edition for the Mario anniversary. Was not the Mario Maker 2 that I was expecting, but it was Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Plus, give me a second. I will figure out what that title was actually. Which one of these has my stuff on it? Not that one. I looked up a bunch of stuff trying to like get some things here, but I guess I do not have. Oh, somebody's got the box art for Galaxy up now, so that's cool. There we go. Everything announced. That way I can get the actual like title for that. Oh, that wasn't even next. Okay, so if we take a step back, let me shrink that a little bit. Hold on. I goofed a little bit. It's fine. Let's pull this over to this one. There we go. So that way I can see everything and see what I'm doing. But where's everything? There. Okay. So before the Mario Bros. Wonder thing, we got Mario Tennis Fever announced with full trailer, gameplay, details about stuff, release date of February 12th, 2026. So we have a Nintendo game for next year announced with a date. And it looks so freaking good. Like, I do like Mario Tennis games. They're not like my all-time favorites, but they are, good time, especially multiplayer. And full story mode, 38 different playable characters. Like, this looked crazy good. And so that's coming out. And then they announced the Mario Bros. Wonder Switch 2 edition, plus meetup in Bella Bell Park, which is a bunch of additional side modes that all seem to be very multiplayer focused, which is fine. I didn't expect a lot out of whatever the extra thing was. Just, we got another Switch 2 edition. So there's that. Help keep my stuff together. The last thing for the Mario 40th anniversary, they announced a brand new Yoshi game. So we've got that to look forward to. Yeah, let me scooch this that way. Let's scooch this over here. Then I can stop. Oop. There we go. Okay, I fixed it. We're good. I see Larry's back. Let's see. So yeah, so they announced Yoshi and the Mysterious Book, which looked amazing visually in some of the gameplay, but it was not what I was expecting from a Yoshi game. Like exploring 2D platform levels and like getting details on enemies and backgrounds and whatever. Like, it was weird. It was weird. I'm not gonna lie on that one. And that was the Mario part of it, and then they came into some other stuff. And I think from here, this list that I've got is out of order. So we're going to stop pretending like I'm reading this off in order. But they announced Metroid Prime 4 release date. So we have a release date now for it. It did not get pushed back to next year, but it is December 4th. So it's like at the end of the year. I feel like I called it before. I've said that I'm pretty sure it got pushed back, which is why we really didn't have anything for September or August. Is that this just did not meet goals that it was supposed to, and so now it's a December game. But to surprise on that, I don't have it up here at the top, do they? Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment got a release date as well. And it's November something at the beginning of the year. I don't remember. I have a thing open up for this. Maybe. Let me see. Just started pulling a bunch of the stuff. November 6th. So 2 days before my son's birthday. I'll probably have to wait. Unless I win the lottery or something, I'm probably going to have to wait. We got some other stuff in there. Final Fantasy VII. So the first of our 3 sevens showed up, which was the Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade. It's coming out January 22nd. The second of those, they announced a bunch of Resident Evil games all together. So it was a trailer for Resident Evil 9 Requiem. It's coming out in February, I believe. And then they also said 7 and 8 gold editions are coming. So Resident Evil 7. And the only thing new that had a 7 in it was Dragon Quest VII Reimagined, coming out February 5th. So that was unexpected. It looks really good too. Like it was super cool, and I was a little excited for it. So that's those 777s they were talking about for a while. It was those 3 games. No 007 anywhere in this thing. Let's see. What else? What else did I miss here? Furthest from left field thing that they talked about: Virtual Boy online service for Nintendo expansion pack users for either Switch 1 or Switch 2. And not just Virtual Boy, but there is a peripheral you can order to play these with. And it looks just like detail specific, like a Virtual Boy, except it has no controller and you don't pop the games in. But the top opens up and you set the system in there and you close it, and then it plays like a Virtual Boy. And then there's a second piece to this thing, which looks real cheap and real cardboardy, and it's for cardboard mode. And you slip it over the Switch screen and play it in handheld mode. And it looks cheap as crap. And I think it's going to probably break on a lot of people. But it's awesome that we're getting Virtual Boy. We're getting like 14 plus titles from its library, which there's only like 13 or 14 that ever released to the US to begin with. So we're getting a lot of the Japanese ones too. And it said there was others to come, but they had like a list to start with. That was insane. Like nobody could have ever predicted that was going to happen. Donkey Kong Bonanza's getting DLC, so that was cool. DK Island is going to show up in it, and then there's Emerald Rush mode, which looks like it could be okay, just to kind of extend the life of the game past the single player story. So that was neat. I'm going down this list. Something that just creeped me way out. There was a Pokemon spinoff, like a brand new Pokemon spinoff. It's called Pokemon Pokopia from Game Freak and Koei Tecmo, of all people. That was kind of weird. And yeah, you play as a Ditto that transforms into a human child that then learns Pokemon moves from the Pokemon on the island to like grow plants and water your plants, and basically Animal Crossing but with Pokemon. But then Ditto has found the ability to become a god, and it's creepy and I don't like it. But yeah, so Hold on a sec. Okay, Larry, since you're still the only one watching. Yeah. Okay. So you didn't know what the Virtual Boy was, right? Virtual Boy is not a. I mean, they're probably using some kind of a ROM emulator to run the game on the system, but Virtual Boy was from the '90s, and it was a legit thing. Like it was called that because it was the headset piece, and you looked into like these weird little goggle things. You had a controller, and you played games in 3D. Like that was one of the first major 3D consoles. It was not great. They were basically Game Boy graphics, but instead of black lines around everything, it was red, and it like gave a lot of people seizures and stuff. And it still kept the red color to all of it. So, here comes more seizures. But yeah, so that's what that's what the Virtual Boy was. Um, and then you're asking a lot of things here all at once, Larry. um, yeah, so yeah, the Ditto thing was just weird. It looked creepy. The girl had like soulless eyes. I didn't like it. But then yeah, Virtual Boy was a real thing. You look it up. um, because we had one. I had one that I found aftermarket 10, 15 years ago, maybe. And Matt had one. His was the first time we even found one of these things. It was at a garage sale in Meeker, Oklahoma. They had it just in this like tub of things in the original box, all the stuff, and like 2 or 3 games. And I think we got it for like $20 or something. Or I say Matt paid for it, so it was technically his. But then we ended up at one point with like 3 or 4 of these things, and we were like using 1 or 2 of them to part out the first 2 just to keep these things running. They were not well constructed, so people are having issues. Um, yeah, that's Virtual. Like I was not expecting to be talking about Virtual Boy today, but thanks Nintendo. To play those great hits like Mario Tennis and Wario Land and Mario Clash, the things that I never really felt were essential, but yeah. Uh, yeah, so if we got nothing else super important other than going into mimics and dittos, I'll continue reviewing this direct stuff. Um, what else was important and major that they talked about in? Because I'm trying not to do the big surprise until the end, because that was the last thing they talked about was my favorite, like by far my favorite. So they announced a few Switch 2 editions from third parties, because I think we only got the one through the entire presentation, and that was the Mario Wonder Switch 2 edition. But the third parties came in with some odd choices. Stardew Valley is getting a Switch 2 edition. I could only assume that's just an upgrade pack of some sort, because I don't think they're going to do a full retail re-release for that game. Same thing with Human Fall Flat 2, Overcooked 2, Power Wash Simulator 2. I feel like there's a theme going on. They're all 2s. Until you get to the really oddball one, because it's been out forever, and just been out forever for Switch 1, but it was even like out for a long time before they ported it to Switch 1. One Piece Pirate Warriors 4 is getting a Switch 2 edition. Make that make sense. Because I don't think that's the One Piece game people are asking for. I feel like Odyssey probably could have benefited more. Burning Blood would have been fantastic if they would have put that on Switch 2 and Switch 1, Switch 2 edition. But nope, we're getting Pirate Warriors 4 again. Yay. Monster Hunter Stories 3 got a release date of March 23rd. Dynasty Warriors is coming to Switch 2 January 22nd, so it wants to compete with Final Fantasy 7. Good luck. But it's Dynasty Warriors Origins. Linda was actually interested in that one, so we may end up picking it up at some point. Suika Game is getting a sequel. Like anybody actually asked for that. Suika Game Planet. So instead of dropping it just straight down in a box to match the fruit up, you're going to put them into a bubble and keep them within a circle. And it's let's see. We mentioned Dragon Quest 7. Yeah, we did. We were talking about the 7s earlier. Kirby Air Riders is getting really cool amiibo where you take the riders off and you can switch them between the vehicle parts of the amiibo. So, like, if I still collected those, that would have been amazing. But it's hard to just get the games anymore and then spend extra money on the toys. I can't do it. I just can't. There's a lot of little, like, they felt more like indie titles and stuff, so I'm not going to go through every single one of those. Tamagotchi Life got a spring 2026 release window. Not a Switch 2 edition, which is still surprising me that they have not said it, because it made sense to be a Switch 2 edition. Apparently we're not going to do that, so I don't know. I think that might cover most of it. Fatal Frame 2, Crimson Butterfly got a remake. That looked kind of interesting. Coming some point next year. Hades 2 is coming out on September 25th, at least digitally. I think the physical ones were later date. I just don't remember what those were. Pokemon Legends ZA is getting some paid DLC, so that's kind of cool. With 2 different versions of Omega Raichu. I didn't even think we needed one, but yeah, here we are. And then, and they also showed off Mega Forms for the original 3 starters for X and Y. So we got Mega Chestnut, Mega Delphox, and Mega Greninja. So that's kind of cool. The game comes out in a month, so I'll get to see all this in about a month. It's going to be the longest wait of my life. And then I'm going to have to wait again because Linda's going to want to play it. So then I'm not going to get to touch it very much. And I'm just going to be waiting for Kirby. Then I might get it back. Yeah, and pretty much that's it except for the show closer. And the show closer was phenomenal. It was another thing from my lists. I feel like I forgot to go back to that. But my prediction lists, the only Switch 2 edition that I got right was the Mario Wonder. So I'm going to just go ahead and close that. And then my birthday wish list. I halfway got it with Yoshi because there was the Yoshi game, but it was not Woolly World, so I can't like fully count that one back to me. And obviously Galaxy 2 showed up pretty hard. And then Fire Emblem. That was my number 3 on the list. We got it. Fire Emblem was the actual like title to Fire Emblem. Fortune's Weave was the title. It's coming out at some point next year, and it looks phenomenal. It looks like it has bits and pieces from Three Houses. And I liked Three Houses. I mean, some of the school stuff kind of went a little long, but I don't think we have that issue here because this has more to do with like a Coliseum and like these hero games and stuff. So, it's going to be awesome. Yes, Larry, I know you can hear Logan. Logan is here. He can be heard. He just is not supposed to be seen. So, yeah. Anyway, I think that basically covers up what we saw today. But like, dude, Virtual Boy. The game's like I might actually play on online service except probably not if I have to have the peripheral, but like if I could just use my eyes and look at the little circles and make sense of it, that'd be really cool. Or apparently I could just make something out of cardboard because they did, right? So that should be doable. Yeah. But what do you guys think? Do you got thoughts on how that presentation went? Because it's a lot, and I'm probably gonna watch the actual direct a few more times, rewatching the trailers, and just driving myself insane, waiting on these games to release. Just a second, I gotta do a thing here, a dadly thing, and open this up. We don't have scissors over here, do we? Let's see. Hold on. I don't want to bust that either. Give me just a second, guys. It's not gonna work. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Okay, here you go. Okay. You didn't watch it, Larry. Why wouldn't you watch it? Go back and watch it. That's your homework right now. Go watch it and then come back and then ask me questions or tell me your favorite things. Yeah. So I don't know that I got a lot here, but it does say I have 2 people here, so if there is someone else with us, you could always say hi. We won't bite hard. But if not, I think I'm going to go ahead and call it. I wanted to get my thoughts and opinions out today while they were fresh before I go and celebrate birthday stuff and possibly go to State Fair and things like that. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.